because it's a requirement.
Yeah.
It was optional before, but now.
Because I actually got a notice from Printify, I don't know if I remember the name. There's like 8 of them that sound exactly the same. But that specific one, I got an email saying that the masks that for the patient or the customers that we have, they're asking us to try not to have too many orders for those.
Of masks?
They're saying
they can't keep up with the orders.
Yeah, they can't keep up with the orders, and they said until they let us know, because they're actually going to be working on getting more, I guess, businesses that are renters that can rent these things. So until they can have more locations that do that, then they're actually asking people to try not to sell them. Don't design any more for now. They're like, it's not going to affect the orders you have already placed, but from here on out, just don't design any more masks.
Yeah, that's gonna work.
We barely started even selling the masks.
That's gonna work. When you tell people not to do something, that's what they're gonna do. Because everyone's gonna go, oh, so it's selling. You're telling me not to.
Right.
I shouldn't write this way.
The only thing that I'm afraid of is, like, if I don't try to write that, if I do write that way, what if the orders are printed out a lot slower? Like, what have we been listening to today?
What have I been listening to? You mean driving?
Driving, yeah. I guess.
A lot of it is just around, I got to understand that the mask thing is a big deal, so I've opened my mind up to just wear masks, especially...
Wait, explain how you feel about masks now.
It's what everybody's doing, because everybody's doing it.
You're causing a disturbance, or you're a problem.
I don't want to be intentionally a nuisance.
Okay.
Especially if there's somewhat of truth. You know, if it's on a scale of 0 to 10, the truth scale is, the truth point will be somewhere around 3.5.
Like 10 being the absolute truth, and then 9 being a lie.
Protect you from COVID-19.
So you feel like it's at a 3.5,
yeah.
But it actually is.
Right.
Okay.
So on that 3.5 merits me just wearing.
What if it were 3?
I'd still wear it. But if it was for sure 0, and there's facts
like
back that up, then I'm not wearing it. Because I don't like doing stupid shit just because everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
But since there's uncertainty and there's no clarity, I'll just do it.
Right. Especially since everyone around you, it's not that they're trying to control you or anything. They wholeheartedly believe that this is what's going to save people. And this is the reason why people are still affected by the pandemic, why people are still dying, is because not everyone's wearing their masks.
I don't think you understand how powerful the media is.
So just given the fact that a lot or majority of people out there are that afraid, and
the media is very powerful, and it's convinced a lot of people that the mask is what's going to save them.
They don't want to terrify the world. So.
They're putting masks on everything. Everybody's wearing masks.
Yeah.
So but even beyond that, just moving beyond the whole mask.
So when will this end? At what point? How do you feel about whatever conspiracy theories are moving around about COVID?
I think the United States government has a sinister plan that will unfold with time.
It's the government that has the sinister plan?
Right. I don't think this is organic. I don't think this is a
right, yeah, I agree with that, actually.
And attack us. No. I think that there are people behind it, and we don't know
what's going to happen at a certain point? Like, where do you draw a line then?
I don't think these people care. People behind this thing, they don't care about humanity, human beings.
Mm-hmm.
And they are willing to take it as far as they can or want to.
Right.
Probably
I believe that.
Spiritual warfare.
Yeah, I think it has a lot of... There's a lot of metaphysical things going on. There's a lot of unseen stuff happening.
So, I don't know how I feel about... the situation of things. I think that with the amount of money that's being pumped into the economy, they're propping up the stock market, and it's going to stay that way as long as they keep pumping money. So the fact that they're planning to pass another stimulus, 2 more stimulus bills.
When is this supposed to happen, really? Because
I know they've been
people
talking
have
about
been
it for a while.
dying or losing their homes, not and starving to death for how long
It
now?
should have happened for a while, but the last thing that I read recently is that it's a confirmation that it's going to be passed. So, and the Heroes Act is probably
I can't
gonna be passed
believe
as well.
there's been nothing done for the citizens since April.
Especially, I think they want to keep the economy running smoothly through the elections.
I'm
Because
100%
if things
sure
implode,
that's the reason.
if the economy implodes, and this country will go into chaos. But
Yeah.
so they want to make sure they
At least until
elect
after
somebody
the
else,
elections.
right, before they can allow things to start going back to normal.
Yeah.
So that being said, the stock market is still a good place to buy. We can still play around with the stock market. I can still put money back in there. I can still put money into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is going to take off and very soon. I think within the next couple of months, all the altcoins will come along with it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very confident about my bet on cryptocurrency.
Right. I mean, cryptocurrency should be fine, even if the stock market is messed up. Or how would it be affected?
So, and since the stock market is still gonna be, since the stock market is still gonna be high, that means the prices of things, commodities, of properties are going to keep going. Real estate values are still going to keep going. It's not coming down.
How soon next year will it most likely
As
come
soon
down?
as the market starts to crash, real estate market will crash. So for now, things are propped up high. The Feds just reduced the rates again. The rates are at a 50-year low.
Wow.
This is the time to buy more, to take out a mortgage.
Mm.
There's a lot of lenders that jumped into the market, so private lenders. So you don't necessarily have to rely on the bank for a mortgage. I think that the Congress, they're trying to also, they're calming down hard on the banks and telling them that you need to start lending more.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because money needs to shift hands. Right now,
It does.
the money is sitting at the banks, with the corporations. They have billions of dollars in cash, and they're waiting for the market to crash so they can buy more. But since the government is propping up the market, it's never gonna be there, and they're sitting on all this liquidity. So they have to move that liquidity out into the market to balance it out. That's what needs to happen. So I anticipate that if we position ourselves right, we should come into a lot more cash before the year runs out.
All right. Before the year runs out. And, well,
A whole lot
like
more cash.
cryptocurrency be affected by any of that?
Yeah, I think that cryptocurrency is gonna boom before the year runs out, and I'm gonna cash out in millions.
Are you ready before the year runs out?
You laugh, I'm serious. I think that's what I think.
When you say moon, that means it's gonna like peak.
yeah, it's gonna take off before the year
It's
runs
gonna go to the moon or
out.
whatever.
To the moon. You heard that?
Is
before.
that? Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, we're about to ride a rocket to the moon.
Right?
Spaceship.
To the moon. I hope these are crypto terms.
Yeah, we're going to the moon before the year runs out. Like,
Okay.
without a doubt.
Go to the moon and then.
That's why I'm like a crack addict. I keep buying more. Every
You
every
are.
1,000 I get, I buy more. As soon as I get my check, that's like the first thing I do. It's crazy.
I know.
So it has to pay off.
I hope so.
The next goal of mine is to accumulate 32 Ethereum or ETH tokens. And I only have the 11 was 4. I only have 14. I still have a long way to go.
You only have 14 Ethereums?
And
Oh no, you're so poor. What's Ethereum to dollar? To US dollar?
200.
Yeah, you're. Oh no, you only have a couple of Ethereum. A couple of $1,000 in Ethereum.
14. It's not good enough.
Oh.
So that's my point. I need what's 32 minus 14? Yeah, I still got a long ways to go, man. Ooh-wee.
Why 32?
32 is the required number. You 32 ETH when it moves, where they're anticipating it's gonna go. Its all-time high. It's end of 2017 was almost $1,000. It was like 900 or something. Okay, and we're expecting it to surpass that this next time. Who knows? And it's currently at 250. That means if I'm buying right now at $250 token, and I accumulate 32 of them. 250 times 32. So I'll be in $8,000.
Okay.
Now imagine if those same 32 tokens multiply by say 1,500, that's $48,000. I'm making that. So
$40,000 profit.
Making
That's
$40,000.
pretty good. That's a pretty good return.
And we're expecting it to hit that number. We're expecting it to hit 1,500 in a few months.
Wow. So
in the meantime, I'm making some money though, making profit by, let me show you something.
Okay.
It's like a profit account.
Profit account.
What am I looking for?
Your profit account.
See, total interest earned this week.
Oh, this week, so
I made $167.62 this week.
almost $200.
Just by having this. And it's appreciated because it was only like 29,000 or like 30 something thousand. And it's appreciated. Some of these coins have gone up, that's why. They've gone up in value. I need to top off my socials. I need more socials. So I need to buy some more. See, because depending on which coin I deposited, determines my interest rate. So I want to buy the coins that give more higher interest rates. Paxo standard coins, I don't have any of them, but it's 8.69% yield, and I'm heavily in Bitcoin, and it's only 4.5% yield. Each one of these coins have different yield, and they average out to what I make every week. So the more money I put and deposit them around, this can become a passive income.
Yeah.
It's already a passive income. It's just not big enough. They need to get it up to like $1,000 a week.
So when you're moving one to another, that's pretty much the same concept as like Forex, going from one currency to another currency.
Yeah. So
you could compare them like that.
Yeah.
It's the same game.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's the same game, just different assets.
All right.
That's set up over there. So I need to buy more sell so I can reach like a gold status. When I get to that gold status, like I can start taking loans out from them.
Oh.
At really good interest. Right now, they'll give me that 10% interest if I borrow from them. But if I put in more sell, if I buy more sell, the interest rate would drop to probably like 1% or 2%.
You could take out money.
Yeah.
And then put it back in so you can earn more interest.
No, it's collateralized. My tokens are collateralized, and I'm borrowing off of it. That way, if I don't return the money, they'll just liquidate what I have.
Right. Oh.
But it's cool because you don't have to sell your tokens. You can just leave your tokens there and borrow against it. Now you have cash to go do something else.
Okay.
Or invest in another asset or trade with. It's like just moving money around. It's like this dance.
Yeah.
Dance with numbers. It's actually interesting. With the apps have made it interesting. Before, this level of trading was not accessible to retail investors like us. This was like high level stuff. This is something you paid brokers to do for you. Not anymore. We're doing the whole thing here.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is all the internet.
Yeah, and it's gonna get better.
Yep.
Wait till they augment our intelligence. That'll be an interesting world. Yeah, that stuff that Elon Musk is building is a chip that allows you to, it's like a cloud in your brain.
Right.
Where you can upload more information. You can stream stuff.
That's crazy.
And you see it in your heart, in your mind, you can read it. Wow. So. Check it out another crypto account.
Oh goodness. Were there tractors in there?
No. That's why I hit skip. I don't have time for this.
You always have to do it?
Yeah, I think so. So, the taste is funny. Not funny, it's not pleasant.
I think you're not used to having lemon in your tea. I don't think you're a citrusy kind of guy.
Or it's okay to put lemon in tea, but not lemon in coffee.
I think because coffee is
Hold
bitter.
on. Turn that on.
It is on. Yeah. Because, I mean, coffee is bitter. And then lemon is sour.
Don't worry about it. Leave it on.
Oh well. But yeah, I mean, you combine bitter with sour, that's not pleasant. So tea is more light.
Who said coffee was bitter?
You don't think coffee's bitter?
It's subjective. Some people find coffee to be sweet.
Really?
There are different layers of taste of sweet. No, there are different layers of bitter. Okay, I believe it goes from super bitter to sweet. That's how it goes. Like super bitter, it's a continuum. Bitter, like bitter with a big B. Bitter. Sweet. Like
Okay,
that.
I get it.
See?
So
Like,
where does coffee fall?
coffee is somewhere closer to sweet. Somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you put in it. Like, if it's straight black coffee, wouldn't it just be pretty, depending on, like, if it's dark roast or medium or whatever, I think that would sort of determine its bitterness.
Yeah. Even at that, it's still in the middle somewhere. More to the bitter side of the barch.
Well, but, I mean, even if, like, okay. Well, how do you feel its bitterness is? And would you think that it's mixing it with lemon is fine? Actually, I know you do. Like, well, I don't know how you feel about it, but I know you've mixed it with lemon.
I think it's okay. The only thing is when I tried it, I put milk in it, and so the milk coagulated and made it unpleasant.
So there's like precipitate.
Yeah, it was like a little white chunks.
Precipitate.
So that made it unpleasant. It just made the texture unpleasant, but otherwise it's just as sour as lemon. And I like that minty, well, not minty, but more sour taste. I like that taste.
Oh, okay. I think it's common to think of coffee as more of like a drink that needs to be creamy and sweet, like heavy, kind of comforting. So adding lemon to it makes it more vibrant, like just kind of
Guess what?
more energetic coffee.
We both have dark preferences for taste. But I've seen you swallow chocolate and sweets, like an ice cream, like your life depended on it.
It did in that moment.
I couldn't tolerate that much sweet. Makes me want to puke.
Okay. I usually want to feel like puking once I'm done, once I've had enough.
My poor patient was asking me if I knew someone who wanted used clothes. That he has boxes and boxes of clothes he's trying to give away.
Why doesn't he just give it to the Goodwill?
I know, that's what I was looking at him like, what the hell? How dare you?
Wow.
I don't know whether he thought I was a charity case or
no, if you know someone who is.
Dude, take your used stuff like to Goodwill like everybody else. Don't try to be special.
I guess he's thinking like, I just want to like make sure I give it to someone for free. Because if you shop secondhand clothing, obviously that's like, you still pay for it.
It sounded like virtual signaling to me.
Is that like your keyword this week?
Yeah, because I keep seeing it over and over. People pretending to be good when it's all fake. They're using every opportunity to say, hey, look at me, I'm the good one. I'm Mr. Righteous over here. And you don't even need to do that. You don't need to It's not even.
I get
It's not
that.
necessary. Just be
Yeah.
good or not be good.
You shouldn't have to make noise every time you're good. People don't have to know.
Yeah,
But
doing too much. So I told him, just take it to
was
Salvation
your
Army.
patient old or?
It's a little old. It's like he's in his late 60s.
I think that's what people used to do back in the day. They wanted to give it to someone. Because back in the old days, they relied on like networking.
Maybe to him it wasn't it was a gesture of
Okay.
kindness.
Yeah,
that's
just
it.
like, hey, do you know someone who could use a box of clothes? And then you could be like, yeah, I might know somebody. I'll take it off your hands. And then now it's your responsibility to get that, to pass that on to someone who needs a box of clothes. And then you try to get the neighbor to take it off your hands. And then
Maybe I guess it was a
find-
gesture of kindness, but I didn't read it that way. It came to me as an insult.
How dare you? How? Wow.
Like,
No, I think that's just what,
I just felt like,
that's what people do.
what do I look like? You can keep your rags to yourself.
Wow. No, I think goodwill and just passing on to the goodwill of the Salvation Army is kind of I think that's a younger person thing. Or that's like my parents. But, because I know that, like when I was younger, it would be like, sometimes my mom would get like a bag of like clothes from a cousin or something like that, and then they'll be like, is there something in here that you want? And I'm like, no. Oh, maybe I'll take that. And then they're like, okay, you can have that one. We'll send these, we'll give these to someone else. I'm like, so people did that at a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But that's going on right now. We give away our stuff to Salvation Army and Goodwill every year. I write off charity donations every year.
Yeah.
So it's still going on right now. Charity donations is still a thing, You just pull up, drop off, peel off.
So back to
write it
your
off.
thing on virtue.
No, pull up,
Okay.
drop off, peel off, write it off. That's how you do it.
And then,
So, what, you're asking about virtue signaling?
yeah, because that's what led us to this point.
There's a lot of virtue signaling. People are
That's like,
pretending
so
to be.
that's too, that's like just pretending to be good.
That's
you're
just-
doing something so that people know you're good.
I think that's the spirit behind the PC culture and the cancel culture and this idea that you make one mistake and that's it. You're done. Everything you've ever achieved in life is completely written off and you're condemned. You're a bad person now. That is the audacity of us to even be able to do that. Like, who the hell do we think we are? We're all sinners. We're all flawed, all sneaky, liars, cheats. We're all kinds of everything bad. All of us. We have it in us. Some of us more than others. So the idea that any one of us can just step out and go and say, I'm the righteous one. I get to cast my judgment on thee.
Yeah.
How dare you? Just sit down somewhere.
Go
For real.
sit down somewhere.
Find several seats. Look, we're all human beings. The minimum we can offer is empathy. Show some damn empathy. Show some compassion to your fellow human being.
Gosh darn it.
We're all in this journey together, and nobody got the answers. No one's got the answers. Okay, we're all trying to figure it out. Some people pretend to know it, but they don't know what the hell they're talking about. We're all making the same mistakes. We're all, got relationship issues, argue about the same stupid things. We're all under the deception of money and we're enslaved and to the pursuit of money. Money, a creation, something that we created by ourselves. We have enough resources on earth to go around. There's so much abundance that we don't even have to work. We don't even have, literally.
Yeah.
If you like to farm, you can
should
farm.
be able to farm.
And when you farm, you're gonna be the one feeding us. And the ones who like to, who are architects and likes to draw things and build things will build our houses for us, and the ones that like science will make our medicines for us. Like, it should organically, people should be organically flow into their purposes in life. Okay, you shouldn't be working a job, 2-3 jobs that you hate, that's soul wrenching, just to survive, just so you can put food on the table. We're screwed, man. This whole thing is a sham. So, what were we talking about?
The virtue culture.
I went off on a rant there.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Gosh, man, we're screwed. It all stemmed from this whole virtue thing.
Yeah, I get sick of people virtue signaling.
We're screwed.
Just have some compassion. Let's sit down and talk about it. Let's get to know each other before we cast aspersions, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
We're quick to judge, quick to castigate people without even getting to know them. I've never met someone who didn't like me after, well, not even like me, didn't pay attention to me after they got to know me. You just start talking to people, you get to know them.
Right.
You're drawn to the ones that you're drawn to, and the ones that you're not drawn to, it happens organically. You separate.
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It's nothing to do with where you come from. We're all human beings. This earth should be borderless, but for some reason we're just clustered in different zones and we claim that there are borders around them.
Are the fish sleeping? Like, look at most of them are just still. There are just a couple that are moving, but the other ones are they're literally like, they're still in the water.
Well, they're usually still, so I don't know what you mean.
No, they're usually moving around and feeding. They're not feeding, they're actually congregating in the center. There's nothing there, so they're literally just being still.
I don't see the ones you're looking at.
Well, they're kind of blending into the rocks, but still. I'm definitely looking at fish.
Yeah, I see them, but they're doing what they normally do all the time.
Really? That's just fascinating.
Koi is
goldfish.
Or is it? Oh, this is goldfish, not koi.
Yeah.
I thought we had koi in here.
We did, but they committed suicide. They didn't want to live in our pond.
They jumped off.
Yeah, they jumped out. And then Chuck had her way with them. Good old Chuck. It sounds really bad, but Chuck's the dog, so yeah, that makes sense.
We should get some more
fish.
Yeah.
We could try koi again. See if that works. But I kind of like the goldfish. I actually do believe that these are beautiful animals. Different colors. They're supposedly different. They're a certain type of carp, and they originated in China. And they were brought here, and they just totally dominated. Goldfish are everywhere. You can't destroy gold. They're like resilient. I mean, like, they die super quick, but they also, like, once they get to a certain age, especially if they have a lot of space to swim around, they're so healthy and jumpy, and they're fast. And I know they're too fast for the dog, so she can never catch them. That's a good thing. I feel like the koi would be slow. They're not very quick, which is surprising because they can jump. So I don't understand it. But
well, there's no koi in the pond, so that's a figment of your imagination.
Oh my god!
Why is that so funny?
I feel... God. Did you...
Took you a little while to catch it, too. That was a pause.
You are hilarious. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is so fun. I like it. Thank you. It's a good one.